Today you discover the 7 silent signs that indicate your blood pressure is very high. Imagine that you have just woken up to yet another gray morning here in the United Kingdom. You feel a little tired, perhaps with a slight pressure at the back of your neck, but you think it's just age, or maybe the weather in Manchester. You have your tea, go to work, and ignore it. I saw this happen with one of my patients, Mr. Graham, age 52. He thought that his constant irritation was just stress. What he didn't know, and what the blood pressure monitor revealed too late, is just that his body had been screaming for help for months, through signs that he considered normal. Today, I will show you the 7 silent signs that Mr. Graham ignored. Signs that your GP often doesn't have time to discuss in a 10-minute NHS consultation. And pay close attention, because sign number 4 is something you probably saw in the mirror this morning and thought it was just tiredness. High blood pressure is called the silent killer for a reason. It doesn't hurt until it's too late. But the human body is amazing, and it leaves traces. If you are over 40 years old, your arteries are not as flexible as they used to be. And understanding these signs can be the difference between a long life or a scare in hospital. This is the first video in our new series on longevity in the United Kingdom. At the end of this video, I will tell you what the next practical step is. But first, let's go to the first sign that 90% of Britons confuse with just a bad day. Sign number 1. The fatigue that doesn't go away. Do you wake up tired even after 8 hours of sleep? In the UK, we blame bad coffee or a lack of sunshine, but science tells us something different. If your blood pressure is high at night, what we call non-dipping, your heart never enters rest mode. It works overtime while you sleep. If you wake up feeling like you haven't switched off, it's not just age. It's a sign that your blood vessels are under constant strain. But the next sign is even more visual, and most people think it is just a sign of health or vitality. Sign number 2, the red face. Often we see someone with a flushed face and think, look at that healthy appearance. But if your face turns red without you exercising or being in a pub, this could be the dilation of the capillaries trying to cope with the internal pressure. Mr. Graham always thought it was just the heat of the office, but it was his body trying to relieve the pressure. Look at yourself in the mirror today. If that reddish tone is constant, your body is giving you a visual warning. Sign number 3, the pressure in the neck. Headaches in the United Kingdom are common, right? We blame stress or dehydration, but the headache from high blood pressure has a signature. It usually occurs early in the morning and is concentrated in the neck. It's a feeling of heavy head. If you need a paracetamol as soon as you wake up to function, stop. This could be excess pressure in the cerebrospinal fluid. Don't ignore the message your neck is sending. Sign number 4, the skipping heart. This is the sign that scared Mr. Graham the most, palpitations. You know when you are sitting watching the BBC News and out of nowhere you feel your heart skip or beat harder in your neck? This is your heart muscle struggling against the resistance of stiff arteries. It's like trying to push water through a blocked hose. If you feel your heart in your throat or ear when lying down, your blood pressure is calling for immediate attention. Sign number 5, blurred vision. Have you ever felt that your vision failed for a few seconds or became blurred and you thought you just needed new glasses? High blood pressure damages the tiny blood vessels in the retina. No NHS, we see many cases where the first sign of severe hypertension is detected during a routine eye examination. If your vision fluctuates throughout the day, the problem may not be in the eyes, but in the pressure reaching them. Sign number 6 and 7, balance and anxiety. The last 2 signs go hand in hand. dizziness when standing up, and an inexplicable anxiety. If you feel dizzy when getting up from the sofa, your cardiovascular system is not reacting quickly enough. And what about anxiety? High blood pressure keeps your body in a state of fight or flight. You feel irritated, impatient, and think it's emotional, but it could be purely physical. Your nervous system is being fried by the constant pressure. Mr. Graham ignored these 7 signs for 2 years. He was lucky to discover them before a bigger event. But you don't need to rely on luck. Of these 7 signs, how many did you feel in the last week? Comment the number down below. If it's more than 2, I want you to do something today. Check your blood pressure at a local pharmacy. Boots or Superdrug often have free monitors. But identifying the signs is only half the battle. In the next video of this series, I will show you the 24-hour protocol. 3 simple changes you can make in your kitchen today to see your blood pressure drop by the next morning. Click on the video that is now appearing on the screen to continue this journey. Don't let your heart wait. A big hug, and I'll see you in the next video.